today's show, Kathy and Jason take the show to Astoria High School to chat with Principal Lynn Jackson about the coming school year and how students can prepare for their first week of school.
Well, hey, good morning, Jason.
Good morning,
it's
Kathy.
Time for another transportation talk.
Indeed, it is. Really excited. We are not in the principal's office today. We are in something called a fish tank. Don't know if that's exactly the same thing, but
Close enough.
we have a special
Makes me
guest
a little
today.
nervous.
Yes, absolutely.
It's fun to be on location. Jason, thanks for bringing us out here. We are at Astoria High School.
Yeah.
And we have a special guest.
Yes, we have a special guest today. Principal Jackson has graciously given us some time today to talk about returning to school. It's that time of the year again right now.
Where did the summer go?
My kids are totally getting ready, and I'm telling you, they're excited. They just went school clothes shopping. They're starting to stress out. It's just glorious. It's a glorious time at the Jones household, I'll tell you that. But it's cool. We have got the principal of the Astoria High School here to chit-chat with us a little bit about it. And so, Lynn, Principal Jackson, good morning. How are you doing today, sir?
Good morning. Doing well. It's a pleasure to be with you again today. Not quite so early as we typically meet. We meet at 5:30 in the morning playing basketball, but it's great to be with you again today.
Absolutely. Well, I don't know, Kathy, but there's some things that we're going to jump right into and really just try to understand why it's important to maybe have this show this week.
Sure. You know, like we said, getting ready to go back to school. It's high season at the Jones household. I remember those days getting ready for school. And I think we probably have some really important messages for people out there.
Absolutely. So, Principal Jackson, it's coming up to another school year. You guys have been busy. Everything around here right now, it looks busy at times. Looks like you're just preparing. I'm sure there's a lot of staff that's preparing. You're preparing for the beginning of the year. But we got kids out there that are preparing and getting ready to go back to school. We're only just a short time away. And so I was kind of wondering if you had any particular pieces of advice in general for kids getting ready to hitch up and go back to school again this year.
You know, one thing that really stood out to me, what you have said already this morning, is that you mentioned, hey, we're going back to school. We've thrown that phrase out for years casually, but no, friends, we are going back to school. And we're doing so without modified bell schedules, modified lunch systems, directional flow arrows on the floor. We are going back to school, at least as of today, that we're doing so under the traditional parameters that we've had in the past. And so we're really excited to be back in school, present. And really that's one of the things I would like to emphasize with students and parents out there right now is please help your student be present. And I mean that not only physically, but cognitively, academically. You know, many students may be present, but if they have that cell phone out and they're checking things and they're really engaged elsewhere, you know, our attention spans are limited commodities. And so being able to really focus that limited resource is important. So that's one of the key things is start preparing, start getting your sleep schedule a little bit back on track and being able to be present fully when September 6th or September 7th, depending if you're a freshman or an upperclassman, arrives, and ready to go as we kick off that new school year.
Great.
Like with so many things, I hear you're saying that basically it's practice. Start practicing now so that you can be successful when school actually starts.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, you know, stress, Lynn, we've looked at so many things, you know, in all the transportation talks that we've had. We've had transportation talks that centered around stress and the health of an individual as it pertained maybe to transportation. But is it stressful this time of year, would you think, for students as they're getting ready to come back in? You already mentioned some things to maybe help them kind of get going and stuff, but really, what is that stress level looking like right now for the average student?
You know, I think it's different for every student, so that varies based upon their individual circumstances and stories, right, their life histories. And I do believe that stress changes based upon their grade level. You've got 9th grade students coming here for the first time, and wow, I'm making that leap into what high